This segment is sponsored by Endoscopic Wellness Center of America. Obesity remains a national epidemic as 1 in 3 Americans are diagnosed as obese, which can lead to other serious health issues. The experts at Endoscopic Wellness Center of America have the latest innovations to help those who are struggling with obesity. I spoke with Chief Medical Officer Dr. Richard Allen Blosser. Dr. Blosser, so great to see you in this new year. How are you?
I am well. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we know this time of year people are thinking about their fitness, their weight, trying to get that weight under control. What options do you have, and how do you help people kickstart that weight loss journey?
Thank you. First of all, recognizing that 100 million Americans are overweight or morbidly obese is the first thing. Once the patient recognizes that, most of these patients need to lose in excess of 25 and many of them in excess of 50 pounds. So there are kind of 3 categories. The young, healthy, obese patient who needs to jumpstart that weight loss program and recognizes that they need to lose 50 pounds are very good candidates for the intragastric balloons. The second population of patients are those patients who have morbid obesity and comorbidities, hypertension, diabetes, etc. They're very good candidates for the endoscopic sleeve, especially in the setting of a native stomach. They've never had any prior surgeries or prior weight loss procedures. And in the third category, which is a ever-growing category, are those patients who've already had a laparoscopic sleeve, or more importantly, the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, and lost not just 50 or 60 pounds, but hundreds of pounds, and are now regaining that weight because they're a real focus of our attention, because their only option previous to the TOR B and the TOR procedure, which we offer, was to go back to the operating room and have everything be done all over again with an exceedingly high both mortality and morbidity rate. Now with TOR B, especially for those patients with the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, we can go down with a simple endoscopy, employ our device, and take them back to where they were at day 1 so that they can re-lose that weight and not continue to regain the weight even after having major abdominal surgery. So that's kind of a quick breakdown of the way we focus on it.
So once you figure out what the patient needs, they get through the endoscopic procedure, start this journey, how do you and your team continue to help them lead this healthier lifestyle?
Yeah, we have an entire year-long program that includes not only counseling, but monitoring, Fitbits, scales, not including what we call the in-body, so we actually can test and measure the amount of fat, the amount of body water, the amount of muscle a patient has, both before and after, because ultimately the goal is not just losing weight, because losing fat is important, but if you can lose, so for example, if you were to lose 50 pounds, but you actually lost 60 pounds and put on 10 pounds of muscle, that is much more enduring. It's something that is a lifestyle modification, because the only thing that really correlates with a long, happy, healthy life is the amount of muscle that you retain as you get older. So losing the weight is important, losing the fat is important, but then putting on muscle with exercise programs and counseling is probably even more important.
What do you say to those that maybe like they've tried everything, right? Yo-yo dieting, everything, and they just are frustrated. They're coming to you. What do you say to them in terms of keeping them looking forward to this new lifestyle?
Yeah, the epicenter, if you will, of all, whether it be bariatric surgery or endobariatric, is the first to make the stomach smaller. So we can either occupy space in the stomach with the balloon, we can fold the stomach together with the endoscopic sleeve, we can reduce the stomach volume by bypassing it or surgically resecting it. But it all starts with making the stomach smaller, and the more weight you gain over a period of time, the more that stomach stretches out, and the natural mechanisms to tell your brain to stop eating are lost. So at the end of the day, it truly is a mechanical problem. We've got to mechanically make that stomach smaller. We'll work on the rest of it, the content with the sugars and all the other things, but you've got to mechanically make that stomach smaller.
Dr. Blosser, wonderful as always to see your face. Happy New Year, and thank you for all this great information.
Thank you so much for having me, and Happy New Year.
You can visit EWLCA.com to request an appointment for a consultation with their team of experts.